If you're a local marketer, then get ready for the most important pop quiz of your career. Are you ready? Here goes. What are the three little words that you can say to any business owner in your area this week that will have them cutting you a sizable check on the spot, faster and more easily than anything else you could possibly say? Now, I'm talking about a new twist that's hitting the local marketing landscape in the next few months that already has otherwise reasonable business owners tripping over themselves in a desperate effort to hire you for a service that you can fill in just 60 minutes flat. Now, we're going to reveal to you those three words in just a minute in this very video, where you're about to learn three words that really can mean the difference between a cash-rich conclusion to this year or one that leaves you scared, clientless, and wondering where all the money went. Now, to make sense of all this, we've got to have a little talk about timing, because timing is important. Just ask this guy. Boy. Yep, missing the call in the moment can be painful on the track. But in business, it's career suicide. And if we're honest, we're bound to notice that from the Carnegies to the Sergey Brins of the world, every serious fortune in modern history has been achieved by somebody who saw something coming that nobody else did. And unfortunately for the rest of us, the epic changes don't come with flashing red lights. Just think, most of us watched in our lifetime as Wikipedia killed off door-to-door encyclopedia salesmen, killing off tens of thousands of jobs. Within a few short months, we watched as sites like Snapfish upended a corporate giant like Kodak. We watched as eBay killed off the used clothes industry, faster than spam killed Nigeria's reputation. It's funny. But then again, not so funny. In all of these cases, technology came, technology conquered, and it didn't ask permission before turning these tried and true industries on their head. It just happened. And lately, it's happening more often. As technology races ahead at blurring speeds, those who are caught off guard increasingly land themselves an unexpected date with the unemployment line, while those who are ahead of the curve can find themselves on the receiving end of their very own entrepreneurial empire. Hi, I'm Russell Brunson, and I'm the founder of .com Secrets Local, the #1 training and certification company for local marketers in the United States. Taking time away from that business to deliver this, an all-important message to warn you and prepare you and to educate you, the local marketer, on what I believe is the next big thing to hit our industry that will, like all great disruptions, turn thousands of local marketing businesses upside down and leave the few who are prepared a total chokehold on the local landscape for years to come. And if you want even a shot at making it to the playoffs in this battle of the wits, you'll get a pen and a paper and a pint of Red Bull at the ready to ensure that you don't miss a word of it, because this one message you can't afford to miss. Now, if I told you there was a $38 billion opportunity on the horizons for local marketers that's already changing the way that every single business does just about everything, would you know what I'm talking about? And I'm going to give you a hint.
To pass, you must know that one of us always lies.
And the other one always tells the truth.
I don't really give a shit. I've got Google Maps.
Yep, you guessed it. I'm talking about the smartphone app revolution. Now, unless you've been living in an underground bunker, you may have noticed that of late, iPods, tablets, iPads, and the droids, and the nine-figure dollar app industry that tags along with it, is on a growth curve that would give Evel Knievel the heebie-jeebies. It's app mania, and it's here, and it's currently blanketing the nation and the modern world as we know it, changing just about everything. App mania is still in its infancy, and it's already changing the way we make purchases, the way we get our information, and the way we communicate, stay informed, and entertained. Among other things, it's in the process of dethroning the personal computer and the internet from an impressive 15-year run as the go-to communication device for mankind. But most importantly for us, the app revolution is already creating a completely new and completely rabid demand for apps by over 26 million small businesses in the United States alone. While most app developers have been busy trying to create the next iFart, which sort of reminds me of this. And you know what's really funny about that clip? The guy really thought he was jamming, kind of like the way most people are approaching the current app boom. We know that we use them, and we buy a course or two about how to make money with them. In fact, we may have even started our own app business in the hopes of becoming the next gaming app superstar. And we think we're part of it. Meanwhile, we reject what is without a doubt the biggest and the brightest opportunity breathing right down our backs in our very own backyard with fever-pitch demand from small businesses with cash at the ready, scrambling and desperate to find anybody who can bring their business into the app era before they become irrelevant. Now, we're talking about nothing short of the biggest demand for local marketing help that local marketing has ever seen. So why aren't we offering app creation, app marketing, and other app-related services to our local clients now? Well, let's be blunt. Most of us haven't yet because we still haven't figured out how to launch a successful app ourselves, let alone figure out how to sell them to others. We're also learning that app creation, well, it isn't cheap. Just to buy a course on app marketing seems to run about $2,000 these days, inside of which you're going to learn that you still need to shell out another $2,500 to an overseas developer with a heavy accent, who somehow it seems his power mysteriously goes out every time his work is due. Now, if you try to systemize the process with some kind of automated solution, you'll quickly find out you're going to be shunned from Apple and the Droid stores faster than a kid with a Cosmo in Sunday school. So to most of us, building apps is a pain, and for that reason, apps have been noticeably left off the menu of services that local marketers offer. But that didn't stop the demand. In fact, it got bigger, and now the water's boiling over the pot. I've been doing local marketing for almost 5 years now, and I can tell you that I've never seen anything like it. Business owners are twisting my arm to build them apps with almost no regard for price. And until recently, I couldn't do it. So I just sat there in front of the biggest transition in technology to hit business since the advent of the website with my hands tied, because I simply couldn't sell a service I can't be sure would be delivered as expected. Now, this frustration somehow morphed into adrenaline because I spent the next few months completely juiced to find somebody who had the answer. And after a steady few weeks of gray hat spying and prying on the inner workings of the app creation industry, I saw a ray of light peeking through the clouds that seemed like it was heaven sent. Somebody out there who'd actually been through this and cracked the code. I want to introduce you to Damian Zamora, a name you're going to want to jot down. Now, I did my research on him, and you really should too. He's got a well-earned reputation as a renegade. For instance, when entrepreneurs and home-based businesses couldn't accept payments online a few years ago, Damian's the guy who headed straight for the 3 major banks. He strong-armed his way into their corporate offices and started striking deals. The same deals that make a lot of the e-commerce on tens of thousands of sites you use possible. Now that was a breakthrough then, but what Damian is doing now was bigger, way bigger. When I saw it in action, I nearly exploded from the excitement because while I was busy trying to figure out how to get a single app created affordably, Damian was busy dominating the entire local market at will, selling ready-made apps for businesses, literally 10 at a time. It was almost like the old Wild West days of website flipping were back, only way faster and way more profitable. He could literally churn out 10 complete original apps in a single day, each of them fully functional, fully supported, completely original with stunning graphics, and the creative utilities that every business needs to make a splash, like this. And of course, he was able to get them approved and adored by Apple and Google Play marketplaces. And in the rare chance that one of these businesses' apps didn't get approved by Apple, he actually found a backdoor for local businesses to get their apps on their customer phones, completely bypassing the Apple marketplace. And all of this with almost no overhead. Every app was slated for a buyer, and since he was basically the only one doing it, he was creating an almost effortless fortune helping these small businesses get exactly what they needed before he even completed their app. Now, apparently he saw what was coming down the pike in local marketing, and he wasn't going to take it sitting down. He worked with a team of Apple and Android experts to this underground project of his to create the software platform which allowed him to waltz around any commercial area simply saying the 3 words that make every one of them woozy with delight. Here's your app. And in the mind of these local technophobic business owners, the fact that he was coming in with quotes that were anything less than $10,000 made him an instant rock star in their minds. And of course, if they can be escorted through the process by someone who actually speaks English as their first language, well, then you've got them at hello. Now, I saw what Damian was doing for what it was. A chance to completely blow the app market wide open to small businesses who were in the know. And a chance for you and hundreds of other local marketers all across the globe to go to town in your hometown, picking up check after check with the here's your app 60-minute dream offer all day, every day if you so choose. Or just do what Damian does, which is travel the country's hotspots on a perpetual vacation while building and flipping apps for an hour to pick up the tab for every excursion. I want to welcome you to an opportunity that comes by once in a lifetime if you're that lucky. A chance to grab your hefty fistful of the $17.5 billion local app marketing opportunity while utilizing Damien software and Damien's team to do all the dirty work to get the apps you need for your local marketing up and approved and sold at a shameless profit so that you can become a highly celebrated, overpaid, certified local app broker. Now, trust me, you have never had so much fun doing local marketing until you've tried to sell this. And if you're already doing a lot of local marketing, this is the absolute best way to grab potential clients' attention and trust so that you can parlay them seamlessly into the entire menu of services that you're already selling. After all, when you've made their app ready, then you're their hero. And the best part, the entire selling process of the app you'll be creating for their businesses is already done for you. Now I'll explain that here in a minute. But to fully understand how big this opportunity is, do what I did. Take out a map of the United States, of just the U.S. alone, and put this number on it. $50 billion. Because that's just a fraction of how much money small businesses are going to spend this year on marketing alone, with apps being the #1 item on their agenda. Now, assuming that just this year alone, only 7 million businesses are looking for their own apps, and the numbers actually are a lot bigger than that, with each of them paying just $2,500 for their app, and you can charge a lot more than that. That means that right now you're looking at a nearly untouched opportunity totaling $17.5 billion this year alone, which will wind up in the hands of local marketers who simply know how to be at the right place at the right time, with the one question being, who gets the first licks, you or your competition? Now, I've got some big aspirations, but I'm no fool. This opportunity is far bigger than anything I could possibly handle on my own, which is exactly why this video is here today, to allow you a certified position on the front lines, armed to the teeth with guns blazing so that you can charge headlong into the $17.5 billion market before the cement is dried. So we've decided that for a few weeks to open this opportunity up to the public at a price that's going to put a smile on everyone's face in an effort to create our network of certified local app brokers to methodically take over the local business app market together. Now here's how this is going to work. In a moment, we're going to open up the doors to get access to the Local App Brokers membership program, where you're going to be able to be trained by the best and work with the best and profit alongside the best as we tackle and tame and conquer this $17.5 billion beast of a market. Now, your membership earns you ongoing access to the only 5 components you're ever going to need to rise to the top. First, it's the software. You're going to get full access to Damien's multi-million-dollar software system that generates apps on demand. This is the only software of its kind on the market, period. Now, this allows any newbie within minutes to create stunning, valuable, and fully functional apps for small businesses of any kind, in any niche, no matter what, no matter who, and there's no faster way to become the king of the marketing jungle than to be the only one who has this. You will be the one creating apps in hours that would take other people 2 weeks or more to pull off, and getting it done for free when others are paying thousands of dollars. Now, in short, you become the guy or the gal with the AK-47 in a knife fight, where you don't even need to fire a shot because the competition just bows out. And of course, in this software suite, you're going to be receiving Damien's proprietary mock app functions we mentioned earlier, which means it's fully equipped to create demo apps within just minutes, branded to your client, which you can literally whip up while you're sitting in the parking lot outside of their business. So you can walk in with the 3 magic words that they all want to hear. Here's your app. Second, you're going to get the Instant App Pro training. Now, this is Damien's exclusive shoot-from-the-hip training on how to use the app software, taking you from app rookie to pro in about 3 days flat. Yes, once you've gone through this training, the barrier between you and an unlimited number of apps no longer exists. Now, if you're an uber lazy marketer and you'd rather not learn how to make your own apps for free, don't worry, we've got you covered too, because you also have unlimited access to Damien's very own all-star app building team who will create the app from start to finish for you. So you can literally sell 10 apps a day at the $2,500 to $5,000 price range without lifting a finger to create a single one. Third, you're going to have access to Damien's rockstar customer support. Don't you hate when a product leaves you hanging? Well, so do we, and lucky for you, Damien and his team are insanely OCD about making every customer a success, which means that either you farm it out to them or you create the app yourself, but either way, you're getting the world's best customer support. His team of app creation proteges are on hand at all business hours. Now, Damien and his team themselves will also be there with you on webinars live each month to stay on until every last question is answered and to keep you up to speed on exactly what's working now. So if you so much as hiccup on your way to app superstardom, they're here to hold your hand with white gloves until you're smooth sailing. Now you're also going to be receiving what we like to call the power pitch. With the power pitch, there's no need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to how to introduce this service to your local clients, because once you fire up the modules, you'll know exactly how to promote your new app development service in your local area for maximum profits and sky-high conversions, even if you've never sold a local service in your life. Now, Damien's been closing hundreds of sales for months now for this service at the $2,500 to $5,000 price range with sky-high conversion rates. And he's just going to flat out give you his best pitch word for word, line for line, along with training on all the unspoken rules of sales and local marketing that you just won't find anywhere else. So you can literally walk into any business with every confidence that when you walk out, you're going to walk out with a check in hand. And finally, and I got to admit, this one makes this almost unfair, is the local app broker lead generation machine. If you have any doubt about whether you're going to be able to find clients, they won't exist after you get your hands on this. And this you've got to see to believe. All I do is type in any business type and my city, and then within seconds it begins to spit out digital gold. Lists of hundreds of businesses in your local area, all updated constantly, who do not yet have, but are proven to likely purchase an app for their business. Now, finding leads will never be easier than this because their phone number, email, and address are all displayed for your pleasure. So if you're sharp, you may have already caught on what's happening here. Damien is arming local marketers everywhere with all of the tools and all of the research that they will need to spearhead the transition of the entire small business sector into the app era. And he's giving you the chance to claim your hefty slice of that pie. And mark my words, in a few short months from right now, it's going to be tough to call yourself a local marketing expert with a straight face if you can't provide this service. And as always, the biggest profits in marketing will not go to those who tail the trend. It'll go to those marketers who are the trend. And I, for one, plan to get ahead of this wave instead of being hit by it. Now, you need to understand that real business opportunities don't usually come with value stamped on them. And when they do, it's so high the opportunity almost loses its glow. But I'm happy to report back to you that the local app broker program is the exception to that rule. In fact, the price to become a certified local app broker working directly with Damien and his team just may be the greatest value for money I've ever come across in my career. Now, just to put this into perspective, the last time Damien released anything like this, he charged well over $1,000, and he couldn't stop the orders from pouring in. Now, that's quite understandable, especially when you consider the fact that a single app sells for $2,500 to $5,000 plus residuals. But we're not going to go there today. In the interest of getting everyone who cares about their local marketing business in on the ground floor so they can see for themselves how easy this actually is to sell, Damien has completely slashed the $10,000 price admission fee. He even went below the $5,000 mark against all sane advice. In fact, Damien wouldn't stop until he found a fee that anyone with a pulse could recoup within a couple of days, which ultimately brought the price for the local app broker certification, training, software, and access to his team all the way down to just $97 a month. So that the only way that you could lose money on this is if you don't even try. And of course, your local app broker membership, it comes with zero obligation. You can cancel any time on a whim with no hard feelings at all from our end. So why is Damien's team doing this? Well, I've had some trouble understanding it myself, but Damien explained it to me kind of like this. By keeping the cost of admission to the local app broker program ridiculously low, he can give more people a chance to taste what's possible. And at that point, he's pretty darn certain you're going to be hooked for life. So he helps you take over your local market, and you help him get his name out there in a way that nobody else can. So it becomes a big win-win for everyone who's involved. Now imagine being able to grab that opportunity with all the financial risk off of your back and onto ours. That's right, we're going beyond our generous cancellation policy, and we're going to tack on the following guarantee. You see, we're so uber confident that within 10 days of field testing this service in your local market, your bank account will tell you everything you need to know about whether this opportunity is for you. We think that the most it could possibly take you is about 10 days, but just to be sure, we're going to give you 60 days on our dime. 60 days of service to the local app broker program to see if this isn't the easiest service you've ever sold, with the highest profit margins you've ever experienced. And if you're not over the moon excited with your results, we'll funnel back every nickel of your purchase price without so much as a wince. Look, the $17.5 billion app market for small businesses is real. But just like that cute girl in the class that everybody was afraid to talk to, she's not going to just come over to you. You've got to walk up and make that introduction. And we've made that easy now. Heck, we're even feeding you the lines. The only thing you can do to screw it up is to freeze up and let the chance slip. Remember, there was only one dot-com boom and two kinds of people, the ones who got rich off it and those who will forever wish that they did. History always repeats itself, and there will be one local app boom. And right now, it's up to you to decide. Will you be joining our army of hungry entrepreneurs who will step onto the field before the rest and claim up all of the prime real estate? Or are you going to wait for others to start selling apps and to monetize the market in your hometown, or to start working for those who did? If you look below right now, you're going to see there's a big happy yellow order button down below, a button you can't afford to ignore this time. Hit that button now, fill in your information on the next page, and give yourself a pat on the back because you just bought yourself a front seat to marketing history in the making. So click on the order button now, and I'll see you on the next page.